Tonight, a story you'll see only on 9 on Your Side.
Your tax dollars going to defend a federal civil rights lawsuit against several employees, including the warden at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in Scioto County.
It all started with this attack captured on prison surveillance video. In it, a Caucasian inmate with a violent criminal history appears to unlock his handcuffs and then attack 4 African-American inmates. Those inmates say they couldn't escape because they were all cuffed to that table. In the lawsuit, the inmates also say their race played a part in why prison staff intentionally did not stop the attack.
One of the victims is a Westwood native who is sharing his story for the first time exclusively with our Jasmine Miner.
Imagine being cuffed to a table as someone's attacking you with an 8-inch blade. Well, Dantes Hollis and 3 other African-American men say they were sitting ducks set up for slaughter inside these prison walls. And Hollis tells me now that he's served his time, it's time the guards see justice. Did you see it? Just wait.
Could have killed all of us.
Torture. It's cruel. It's inhumane.
Life or death situation.
Now watch again. 5 prisoners, 4 black victims, and 1 white man with a blade.
You can't sneak a deck of cards out, so I don't see how you got out with that big of a knife.
Dantes Hollis was an inmate in 2017 at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility. He says each inmate gets stripped down and searched from head to toe for what's called table time, an hour each day prisoners get out of their cells.
We're playing cards, and some guy, he like, man, it don't feel right that the guy came out behind us.
He's talking about this guy, Greg Rinke. A federal lawsuit filed on April 3rd by 2 men who served time with Hollis says Rinke got some kind of key for his handcuffs from the guards and unlocked himself. This prison surveillance video shows it's happening.
That's how that prison's ran. Like, pretty much if you're black, you're gonna have a hard time there.
We've decided to blur some of the video because it's just that graphic. But the lawsuit says Rinke pulled an 8-inch blade out of his sock and violently stabbed the other inmates. It says he stabbed 1 inmate at least twice and another at least 10 times. Hollis, here in the middle, was able to avoid being wounded.
Did you think I could die today?
Yes, I was very scared, terrified.
Let's pause. This lawsuit isn't just about what you can see, it's also about what you can't. The surveillance video of the entire incident is 13 minutes long. But notice something. In the initial 47 seconds, you'll see not 1 guard appears in the video. And the lawsuit says guards watched the inmates bleed for up to 15 minutes before they were given medical attention.
And I've never been in combat, but this to me is like a soldier in combat.
Scioto County prosecutor Shane Tiemann says Rinke was his focus in the local criminal case, and he'd like to believe the corrections officers were doing their jobs.
The doors take almost 30-40 seconds just to open.
Yeah, that's an eternity when you're in trouble.
But the lawsuit claims the officers were in no rush to help behind locked doors. It says they were standing, watching, and overheard by the victims laughing while they were attacked, going as far to say one officer told another, quote, "We should just let them die." I asked the prison if the guards were responsible for the attack. A spokesperson tells me the prison can't comment because of, quote, pending litigation.
Oh my gosh.
And even without enough evidence for a hate crime, Tiemann tells me he can't help but see how racism is at play.
Obviously it's racism because there's 4 black men chained to a table and a white guy who somehow slips his cuffs and stabs all 4, and then you see, I can't jump to that conclusion as a prosecutor.
Counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, involving 4 separate victims.
With 8 fully armed guards in court, hands on loaded guns, Rinke is the only inmate charged and convicted in the attack. He was handed 54 years last month.
Consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public.
And that's on top of his existing life sentence. So what now?
I feel somebody put him up to that, so for them to get to the bottom of that and for them to be held accountable.
Hollis wants accountability for those who were supposed to get to Rinke before he did, having to yank himself out of his cuffs.
It was no skin on my hand from ripping out the handcuffs.
He could have, when he got free, ran the other direction
Tiemann says the general prison code is every man for himself. But Dantes turns back, tackles Rinky, saves lives, and the guards finally come in.
I wasn't trying to be no hero. I have a little daughter that I have to watch grow up.
Leaving the memory of these blurred, blood-stained floors behind, he will.
Daddy, I love you. Okay, I love you more, baby.
Despite the actions of the guards here, or lack thereof.
Whether we're prisoners, whether we're free, no matter the situation, that was wrong. Like, you guys have second chances. Like, your life could have been snatched from you like that over nothing.
Dantes Hollis is currently not listed as a plaintiff on this federal lawsuit, but the attorney for the other plaintiffs tells me Hollis is getting added to it soon. I'm in the studio. Jasmine Miner, 9 on your side.
To find out more exclusive information about that victim and how he's trying to put the attack behind him, check out Jasmine's digital story on WCPO.com.